And we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to Fed React Special Edition. You guys are probably wondering, why is Andrew at the table? We'll talk about that here in a second. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, ASI is what Fed Reacts on. Defendant Jeff Williams and Associate White Cell did commit the felony. Here's what 6ix9ine actually got. Shifted the whole U.S. government. This guy got arrested espionage, okay, trading secrets with the Russian John Wayne Gacy, a.k.a. the Killer Clown, okay, one of the most prolific serial killers of all time, killed 33 people. Zodiac Killer is a pseudonym of an unidentified serial killer who operated in Northern California. Serial killers, they really get off on getting attention from the media. Many years, Jeffrey Epstein sex exploited and a few dozens of minor girls at home. It was OJ working together to get Nicole killed. We're going to go over his past, the gang ties, so that it all makes sense. What's up, guys? Welcome to Fed Reacts, a special edition here. As you guys can see, we got Andrew here at the table. There's a special reason for that, guys. It's because we got Bills and Mo in the house. Mo is up doing his thing right now. He's monitoring a bunch of stuff. As you guys know, we're running this on Rumble and on YouTube. And yeah, we got the chat showing on the side. We got the top donators. Yeah, so for us to be able to run a production at this level, we need some people behind the scenes that know what they're doing. But don't worry, Andrew would be in the back. And the next one is just that we're kind of having Bills here because this is our first test run. We're running, Streamlabs and all the more advanced software on an episode of Fed Reacts. Today's episode, guys, we're going to be covering the Chicago Rip Crew. Is it Ripper Crew?
Ripper Crew.
Ripper Crew, sorry. The Chicago Ripper Crew. You guys have been requesting this one for quite a bit. You guys requested this one and the SPM, South Park Mexican. We were going to do SPM, but then I realized, like, dude, all the videos for this suck. And this case is a lot more interesting, to be honest with y'all. We will do SPM in the future, but right now, I think the Chicago Ripper Crew is a lot better. So just a quick little legend for you guys. Some of you guys might be new to Fed Reacts or not seen it like this. So over here, you can see we got a chat that's showing our YouTube chat. If you guys want to donate to the stream, we can't accept super chats right now because, we're demonetized, LOL. But if you guys want to support the channel, I would really appreciate if you went ahead and click that Streamlabs link pinned at the top of the chat and pinned at the top of the description. And every time you donate through there, the chat is actually going to show up. Your super chat and your message is going to show up right in the middle of the screen, and a nice little sound effect is going to ding. And yeah, we will really appreciate every donation. Also, we're live on Rumble as well, guys. Rumble.com/FedReacts. And then also make sure to check us out on Rumble.com/FreshAndFit as well. As you guys know, Fed Reacts is a channel underneath the motherboard of Fresh and Fit. But yeah, I think we had a couple of Rumble rants come through. And y'all said some crazy stuff. So, and don't worry, we'll get the Rumble chat up there as well. It's just that y'all be wilding out over there and we're still on YouTube. So we're going to have to put the Rumble chat up once we're on Rumble only. But we do have a documentary to react to. Shout out to Angie. She found this documentary for you guys. That's going to cover the Chicago Ripper Crew. But Mo, Bills, y'all want to say anything to the people before we get into this one? This is going to be a crazy case, by the way. I hope you guys are ready because this one is going to be absolutely wild.
Yo, what's going on? This is Big Mo. I'm glad to be here. Another time, we're back at it again. So I hope you guys enjoy the stream. So hey man, let's do it.
What the hell was that, Mo?
On God. Then I can also say, you guys can follow me at BigMo_BITW. That is BIGMO_BITW. Don't forget the memo to believe in Big Mo because that is an MO. Best in the world, baby.
Mo, you might want to move the camera a little bit to the left.
Huh?
Oh yeah, because the screen is showing on the side. Your camera. Yeah, he got it. But what about you, Bills? What's up?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm the quality control analyst for the show.
That's his real title.
That's my real title. I'm just happy to be here. I'm a musician. You guys can follow me on Instagram at JBills, JBILLZ. And yeah, I'm just blessed to be here. I love the opportunity. And thanks to Fresh and Fit for having them.
Yeah, man, we're happy to have you here, bro. Obviously, he's the ones running the ones and twos because you guys know this is pretty complicated to run, Streamlabs at a high level with all the stuff going on, the chat and all that other stuff. And, we want it to be real interactive with you guys, which is why we got the chat running on one side, which has, normally if we had it on like Twitch, Twitter, all that other stuff, it would be running, but it's just YouTube in this case. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube, please do me a favor, like the video. And if you're watching it on Rumble, follow the channel on Rumble if you're watching it over there. And like I said before, if you guys want to donate to the show, go ahead and get a Rumble Rant in, or, which we'll read towards the end of the show, or if you guys want to just get your chat shown on screen right now, go ahead and click the Streamlabs link and donate to the show. We appreciate it because, as you guys know, we're demonetized on YouTube, which kind of sucks. But hey, the train keeps going, bro. We're not going to stop. We're not going anywhere. I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on. All right. This is my home. So we ain't going nowhere. Okay, so we got a documentary to show you guys. Andrew, you have anything you want to tell the people before we get into this? Any announcements you have before we get into it?
Okay. What camera should I look at?
This one.
This one. Okay.
Yes.
Hi, people. Today I'll be fresh. Even though I promised myself not to be on this table ever again. But yeah, we're gonna cover Chicago Ripper Crew. What happened with the South Park Mexican case is that the documentaries that we found about that case are really like trash, like are really bad, and nobody covered him like very well. So we're gonna have to do like a little bit more of research to cover that case. So yeah, that's what's going on right now, because that's the case that won the poll last week. So yeah, today we're gonna do Chicago Ripper Crew, who was like the other one that was highly requested. And,
yeah, it was close.
Yeah,
it was close between the two. You guys wanted these were the top two that
Yeah.
you guys pretty much wanted. Sorry, what else were you saying?
Yeah, well that'll be it.
That's
Don't
it?
follow me on Instagram or
Don't follow me.
anywhere else, and just follow Fed Reacts. It's at Fed Reacts, and yeah, I'll be active there every week. I'm trying to learn how to make videos and like clips and reels and stuff, so I'll be posting reels every day. I'm trying my best to post every day, and yeah, respond to your DMs and stuff. So
Cool. All right. Awesome. So let's go ahead and get... Oh, and then we did an episode. I forgot to mention. Guys, we were in Washington, D.C. area for a bit. We went ahead and did a podcast with Tim Cast. You know Tim Pool, as you guys know. We went and did two. We did one debate with Jason Howerton on, dating, versus being monogamous. And then we talked about... and then we went ahead and did an episode on Timcast IRL. So the debate was on the Tim Pool channel, and then the podcast was on Timcast IRL, where we talked about the Trump case a lot. We talked a little bit about intersexual dynamics. It was a good discussion. It's always a good time hanging out up there in Maryland with Tim. It's the third time we've been on the podcast, so we've been there quite a few times. Out there in the middle of nowhere where he films it. It was the boonies. Farm. And then also and then we'll have Tim here in October. He's going to be here in Miami doing an event with PBD. So we'll make sure to, snatch him up and do a podcast with him. We'll have our new studio by then, which we're actually going to go to the new studio right after this pod and, pretty much get some new equipment, some new stuff for y'all. It's going to be lit, man. You guys are really going to enjoy the new studio. It's going to be good. And I have some plans to design it. It's going to still keep the Miami vibe, the Vice City vibe. You guys know that's what it is. But
we learned how to play poker.
We learned. Yeah, Tim taught me how to play poker. So shout out to him, and I suck. So I will not be gambling, guys.
Myron lost $20.
Yeah, I lost $20, and I'm just like, this is terrible. I don't know how people do this. I'm good. All right. So it was a friendly little thing. All right, cool. So we got let's hit the Wikipedia first, gentlemen. And then, are there any chats that we need to read right now, or we can read, Mo, that are clean?
Not yet.
Not yet? Oh, they're all going crazy? Okay. All right. So, Ripper Crew. The Ripper Crew, or the Chicago Rippers, was an organized group of serial killers, cannibals, rapists, and necrophiles. The group composed of Robin Gecht and three associates, Edward Spritzer, and brothers Andrew and Thomas Cocorellis. They were suspected in the disappearance of 17 women in Illinois in 1981 and 1982, as well as the unrelated fatal shooting of a man in a random drive-by shooting. According to one of the detectives who investigated the case, Geck made Manson look like a Boy Scout, okay? And these guys are serial killers. Not as famous as some other serial killers, but these dudes were going crazy in the early 80s, man. And as you guys know, we've talked about this on this podcast quite a bit, that the heyday of serial killers pretty much were from the 1960s, up until I would say the early 2000s, before DNA became a big thing. So yeah, man, these guys obviously operated in that golden era for serial killers. So let's go ahead. We got a documentary to play here. The voiceover guy is freaking awesome. He has a really strange, deep, scary voice. I apologize, guys, for the quality. I wish it was a little bit better, but it's good enough, and you guys will be able to see what's going on. So, yeah, I guess without further ado, let's play it from the rip. You have anything, Angie? What,
I'm just laughing at the chat. Somebody said they look like if the Beatles never made it.
And, guys, again, if you want to donate to the show, do me a favor. Click the link, the Streamlabs link on the side, and or click the link at the top of the description. You could donate, and it'll be shown right in the middle of the screen, and your message will be shown as well. So that's the new super chat feature. And, it supports us more because YouTube used to take a big cut. So now, it goes directly to the creator, man. So, and as you guys know, we take that money and invest it right back into the studio, into the team, into the squad, and continue to pump out this content for y'all, man. So whether you want to Rumble Rant or support that way, either or helps.
I do want to say that a lot of people compare this group to Charles Manson, and we're gonna see why later. But there's a little bit of cold satanic stuff here, and also the quality is
the 44 killer.
Son of Sam.
Son of Sam.
Yeah. But they compare it more to Charles Manson.
Oh, well, yeah. I would say these guys are closer to Son of Sam.
Because these guys will do rituals and stuff.
Yeah, I would consider them closer to Son of Sam. But hey, you guys will see here, and we'll get to it.
And the quality is like this because we couldn't find anything better. This documentary is on Tubi, but it's not available right now, so that's why the quality is like this.
Yeah, it's a good documentary. Cool. Anything else before we get into it?
No, that's about it.
I already see you Othin on Streamlabs. Just he's saying we're behind you all the way.
Appreciate that, my friend. How come I didn't pop up?
Because we was on the screen share.
Oh, okay.
Working on that as we speak.
Okay, guys. So don't worry. We see your chat. So if it comes in and we're screen sharing, it's fine. We'll make sure that it gets shown on chat, and we'll bring it up for y'all.
Absolutely.
We'll read it. So don't worry. All right, let's get into it, man.
Chicago's gritty streets lie in sharp contrast to its suburban neighbors. But these places will forever be linked by a series of crimes so shocking they are considered to be among the most brutal in the history of the Midwest.
Some of these crime scenes were really, truly horrific, even for seasoned police officers.
They were evil crimes, made even more frightening by the range of victims.
Every woman in the Chicagoland area was at risk because it wouldn't matter who you were, what you looked like. It wouldn't make any difference. What your age was, what your race was. You were all at risk.
At 11:20 a.m., law enforcement respond to a call about a bad smell at a motel 25 miles outside the city.
The manager thought it probably had been a deer, maybe hit by a truck. There was a highway nearby.
Instead, detectives find an unrecognizable body face down in the weeds. Her hands are bound behind her back with inexpensive nickel-plated handcuffs. Peter Siekman, the deputy coroner, and his boss arrive at the site to examine the body.
The body was very, very badly decomposed. You recognized right away that she'd been there for quite some time to be in the condition that she was.
Hey guys, bring it back to us real fast. Sorry about that, guys. I understand that there was a little bit of echo or something like that. So we fixed it. We literally just fixed the shout out to the guys in the back. Again, this is the importance of having a team. They went ahead and lowered the monitoring on our headphones, and they also made sure to get rid of the echo. So the audio should be good now. We're monitoring both the Rumble and the YouTube chat. So go ahead and give us ones to make sure everything is good. Guys, give us ones if everything is good. Let's go back to the stream and watch both. And let's keep going.
And don't worry, chat out. I too was monitoring the video with you guys, so I heard it too. And me and Bills, we already fixed it for you.
Yeah,
so,
they were blaming me the audio.
They were blaming you?
Yeah.
Why? Well, why?
They're saying L and you for the sound because it was too loud.
Apparently. Okay. Fair enough. We got it good now though, guys. So let's keep going. And I know you guys like that narrator. You got that creepy ass voice. That's why I figured y'all would like this. Ow! So if you got a girl with you, this is the part where you make your move. All right, let's go.
What?
Dudes be watching the show with their chick all the time, bro. Facts.
Chicago's gritty streets lie in sharp contrast to its suburban neighbors. But these places will forever be linked by a series of crimes so shocking they are considered to be among the most brutal in the history of the Midwest.
Some of these crime scenes were really, truly horrific, even for seasoned police officers.
They were evil crimes made even more frightening by the range of victims.
Every woman in the Chicagoland area was at risk because it wouldn't matter who you were, what you looked like. It wouldn't make any difference. What your age was, what your race was. You were all at risk.
At 11:20 a.m., law enforcement respond to a call about a bad smell at a motel 25 miles outside the city.
The manager thought it probably had been a deer, maybe hit by a truck. There was a highway nearby.
Instead, detectives find an unrecognizable body face down in the weeds. Her hands are bound behind her back with inexpensive nickel-plated handcuffs. Peter Siegman, the deputy coroner, and his boss arrive at the site to examine the body.
The body was very, very badly decomposed.
Pause.
You recognize, right?
And guys, the smell of a decomposing body, right? Once you smell it one time, you'll never forget it, man. It's a very unique and distinct smell. It's rancid. You just don't forget it, man. Think of like, man,
rotten meat.
Yeah, rotten meat with like rotten milk, rotten eggs, all combined in one. I can't even explain it. And then the fact that it was decomposing with animals on it, it makes it even worse. So, yeah, you just don't forget it. It's a very distinct smell. Anyone that works in law enforcement or works in anything to do with maybe the coroner's office or anything, or maybe at a funeral home or anything like that, or in the medical field, you're gonna know that smell, and you just can't. Yeah, you smell it one time, you never forget it.
Yeah.
Let's keep rolling. And then also, do y'all want us to put subtitles in the video for y'all? I don't know if they want subtitles. Let me know in the chat if you guys want subtitles. If you guys do, we can put them in there. I know some of y'all like them, some of y'all don't. So we'll see what the chat says. But let's keep running it.
Right away that she'd been there for quite some time to be in the condition that she was.
The victim has on a sweater, but no pants. Her underwear is down around her thighs. She has $17 tucked into her sock. Through dental records and fingerprints, the body is identified as 26-year-old Linda Sutton. The autopsy reveals that she was killed more recently than police initially thought.
Pause.
It turned out.
And the reason why, guys, they thought that it was so bad is because you got to remember also that it was around May, if I'm not mistaken. So it's already warm at this point, which warm weather, the animals are out, the vermin, the bugs, etc. So it's going to accelerate the decomposition process and make the smell even worse. So even though they thought that she had been dead longer, she actually wasn't dead that long. It was just that the warm weather hastened the process of decomposition.
Yeah, she was dead only for like 3 days. I
yeah,
think it
3
was.
days. Yeah, 3 days. So that tells you what you need to know as far as the wildlife being involved. All right, let's keep going.
Out in the end that she'd been dead for about 3 days when she was actually found.
Bugs take the easiest entry into a body, usually the mouth or other orifices. But this case was different.
It was determined by the pathologist that the path of entry in this particular case was through stab wounds in the body, the upper torso. Her breasts, it turned out, had been removed.
We would have no clue what removing a breast would mean. You don't think about people actually intentionally removing someone's breast.
Catherine Ramsland, a professor of forensics.
So you already know, the police show up on the scene, body's decomposed, it's the springtime, breast is gone, the bugs have entered in through the open wound. Sorry, guys, I'm being a bit graphic here. But, now you know that you're dealing with a strange individual here. What the hell? Like, you show up on the crime scene, it's one thing if the person is deceased, but then to see that they cut off the breast is like, okay, this is weird. So, so we're going to start to see a trend here, guys. You're going to see this when we cover these serial killer cases. These guys typically have a way and a methodology of how they conduct their criminal activity. So just hold on to that thought. We're gonna keep going, but you guys will see what I'm talking about. Mo, should we hit chats now or back to it?
Back.
Okay.
I do want to say
keep
that
going with the doc.
the reason that the reason why she was missing a breast, well, that's why she was decomposing that fast, because the animals were like eating her inside out. And we apologize for the graphic stuff and the larves and stuff, because we were also eating when we saw this documentary, and I know it's pretty disgusting because I see a lot of people complaining in the chat.
Oh, that is, yeah. Well, hey, guys, you asked for it, so
Yeah.
here we are. Y'all wanted the Chicago Ripper Crew, so like I said before, this documentary is a bit graphic, so you probably might want to finish up your meal if you're eating, or don't eat at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get back to it.
Psychology is familiar with this kind of body mutilation.
There are 3 reasons why someone might remove a body part. One is it's a paraphilia, which is a deviant sexual practice to somebody gets aroused by unusual objects or activities. The other can be symbolic, in that they're removing a body part that's representative of female, for example, in order to then do something with it that will empower them. And the third one would be as a memento or a souvenir from the murder.
Can you pause it real quick?
Detectives find bodies. That's what they do.
Guys, this case is predominant because of the paraphilia that the main guy had. And paraphilia, I want to define it for you guys. Paraphilia is the condition characterized by abnormal sexual desires, typically involving extreme or dangerous activities. The difference between paraphilia and a fetish, and I'm explaining this because I remember this came out on an exam for me in the university and I failed.
For psychology?
Yeah.
Is a game? Okay.
Yeah. The difference between this and a fetish is that the person...
Can we bring it to the main camera, guys? Go ahead. Continue on.
Yeah. The person, in order to have a paraphilia, has to be extremely aroused. So you can have a fetish and not be aroused, but to have a paraphilia, you have to be aroused by the activity that you're doing. It can be feet, it can be, in this case, this guy are cutting breast out of people. So that's why paraphilia is way stronger, and it goes to the abnormal side of a condition.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. A fetish is considered normal per se, it goes in between, but
so paraphilia is a fetish that is abnormal.
Yeah, it's abnormal.
Okay. So for example, some of you weirdos out there like feet. That would be considered normal, even though I don't think so.
Yeah.
But paraphilia would be a sexual fetish that is not normal, which would be maybe cutting off a boob or doing something else that is nefarious or dangerous to an individual.
It says in here, typically involving extreme or dangerous activities. So it can be biting
snuff
somebody.
films, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So that's the difference. Okay. Let's continue on. And guys, we will pause to read super chats and Rumble rants here in a bit. We're just gathering them up, gathering them all up for y'all. So all right, let's keep going.
But to find one in a field, handcuffed, with her breasts removed, and had been left lying there, in this vacant field behind a motel, that's very unusual.
Given that prostitutes tend to hide money in their socks, DuPage detectives think that Sutton may have been a city working girl. So they give Chicago PD a call.
All right, pause. If you guys study serial killers at all, you guys already know that unfortunately prostitutes are a very common victim class
Easy targets.
for these serial killers. And whether unless you're like Ted Bundy and you're crazy and just want to go after college girls that actually have families,
or Ed Kemper.
Or Ed Kemper, right? But a lot of serial killers go after prostitutes. Why? Because they're in a profession that's dangerous. They're dealing with different men every single day. They're in different locations every single day. A lot of the times, they might not have a close family unit or people that are going to go looking for them. If they do end up missing, a lot of the times, no one's going to care.
Yeah,
and if they do find the body, right, it's going to be very difficult to find a next of kin that'll be able to identify them. A lot of the times, they have to identify them off of dental records, assuming the individual even went to the dentist in the first place. You guys should watch our episode on Samuel Little. Samuel Little, I think his kill count was 93 or something like that. Most of them, I think all of them were prostitutes, and a lot of them were unidentified.
Yeah.
So And he was able to do that and be able to prey on these prostitutes for so long was because a lot of them were minorities, a lot of them were from poor areas, a lot of them didn't have family, and he was able to go ahead and strangle these women, and he strangled them all, by the way. That was the only way he killed them. He never killed them with stabbing them or killing them. He hated blood. So the only way he was able to get away recklessly doing that for such a period of time, and he did this for decades, is because he picked on a class of victim that was that no one really cared about or would file as missing or would care to go look for. So
also the Green River Killer and Jack the Ripper. Remember, they were also
all prostitutes.
His targets were also prostitutes.
All prostitutes. You
people
know what I mean?
don't tend to look for them because they don't have. Usually, they don't have any families or people that care about them.
And not only that, the dark side, I'll tell you guys as well, from the police department side. If a prostitute goes missing, the police department is not going to put and exert as much effort to finding them. Why? Because a lot of the times they're in and out of their jurisdiction, so why are they going to go ahead and spend a bunch of time and money and resources looking for someone that's kind of just passing by and isn't necessarily a resident of the area? They might be, in one state another day, in another state the next day. They're hitchhiking, they're going from place to place. So they're not necessarily a class of people that even the police want to spend a lot of time looking for and tying up resources. And you guys got to remember, a lot of these police departments, especially in these smaller towns, they don't have money like that. They don't have resources like that. They barely have detectives. They're not going to be as sophisticated as a major city. So that's a big reason why these guys were able to get away with attacking this group of people. And then also, I want to let you guys know, back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, DNA wasn't a thing. Okay, technology wasn't a thing. Pinging people on their phones wasn't a thing. So it was very difficult to go and find a missing person. And then on top of that, to compound to it, there wasn't a refined central database like the NCIC like we have nowadays. Back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, etc., it wasn't until really the 90s and early 2000s. Law enforcement didn't really get together and create centralized databases until later on. It was actually Ted Bundy that was a big impetus for law enforcement in different states to get together and figure out, okay, we need to actually work together and have one centralized database, because we might have a guy that we're looking for here in Utah, but then next thing you know, he's killing people in Colorado. And this is what Ted Bundy was famously doing. He killed women in 7 different states. So this was all prior, right? The 70s, 80s, etc., which is why serial killers went so crazy. This was all prior to refined databases, national databases, DNA, law enforcement being more sophisticated, working with each other, technology. None of these things were in play. So, you add all these issues, and then on top of that, the fact that the demographic of person that they're attacking is a class that people don't really care about looking for because of everything I listed before, them being vagrants, them being state to state, moving around.
Yeah.
It's
a waste of resources.
Unfortunately, they're looking at it like it's a waste of resources. So that's a big reason why so many of these serial killers were able to kill prostitutes and get away with it for so long. But they fucked up in this case because the heinous way in which they killed this woman, and the heinous way they did it, and then you're going to see a pattern coming here, obviously put the police on their radar. So let's keep going. And we got a whole serial killer playlist for you guys, by the way, if you guys are more interested in this type of thing. Yeah.
Detectives mentioned that they found this young woman with the money in her sock, and the Chicago detective said, that does sound like one of ours. The two men talked for a bit about, where they had found the body, what condition it was in, was there any other evidence, but there really was nothing at that time to connect this body that had been found out in the suburbs with a potentially Chicago involvement in the case.
Murders involving prostitutes are difficult to solve. Their dangerous lifestyle constantly puts them in harm's way, and when they disappear, few people notice.
There was a significant investigation. They tried to determine everything about who this lady was, where she could have been, who she may have met. That investigation was ongoing, but it didn't turn up any solid leads at all.
After multiple dead ends, the case goes cold. Shortly after 9 a.m., law enforcement in another Chicago suburb receive a call that 21-year-old Lorraine Borowski, also known as Lori, has been abducted in front of the real estate office where she works.
The people got to the office,
all right, pause.
Found it unusual that the door was still locked.
Now, you guys are going to see a stark difference in the effort, right, mounted to find this lady versus, the first one, right? And people can make the argument that it has to do with race. I would argue more it's along the side of class, right? And this is the 80s as well. So racism was a bit more pronounced back then than it would be nowadays. But yeah, now you're dealing with one where a lady of the night versus a young professional who is a real estate agent. So, and it's a better neighborhood too, Elmhurst. So let's go ahead and keep going here.
Locked because she was so dependable. And then one of the employees there noticed that there were keys and a few cosmetic items lying on the ground in the parking lot outside of the real estate office, and shoes.
It looked like she was literally taken off the street. It's an aberration. These things just don't happen in Elmhurst. So we started to investigate that immediately.
Lori's parents are notified.
I couldn't comprehend her missing. I mean, Lori missing? Well, she'd expect us to go look for her. So we went straight to her apartment. And there was nothing out of place. Her everything was neat as a pin. We couldn't figure how she would be gone like that. Just all of a sudden she's gone.
Lori's family desperately tries to find her, passing out flyers and talking to everyone.
And that's worse, guys, because the fact that they can't, the house is immaculate and no one was there, less clues, right? In a situation like this where you have a missing person, you want as much clues as possible. And, if they went to the house and it was disheveled and there was some evidence that someone else might have been there, it would potentially lead to a motive and or help them track down who the kidnapper was. But in this case, they didn't even have that. So she got stolen out in the public, out in the street. So it's like, oh man, this is going to be a lot harder. So missing cases like this, guys, pre-cell phone era, pre-technology, pre-location data is a nightmare for the police, man, especially a small police department like Elmhurst, right? A suburb outside of Chicago. So, this is a different time, my friends. The police were not sophisticated as they are nowadays back then, 40 years ago. It's crazy. Crazy to think 40 years ago. This was 41 years ago, 1982.
But also, you see these guys are very careless. Like they are not paying. Like they're not taking care of their tracks. They're being very reckless with the killings. It's like they are not really paying attention that they're being tracked or anything. Yep. And they're leaving a part in every killing. So
yep. Prior to DNA, they didn't care. They're out here. You guys should watch the BTK episode that we did. This dude was out here at the crime scene busting nuts and shit. Like, bro, they didn't care. Like, I'm serious. Like, he was out here busting nuts at crime scenes, thinking oh, no one's gonna get me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's funny because literally, 30 years later, they get the DNA, right? Yeah. And you guys should watch this episode. It's really fascinating how they caught him. What ended up happening was his daughter was in college. They got her DNA because I think she had went to go get an STI test or something like that at the college, University of Kansas, and they had his DNA. They compared his DNA to hers, and they were able to identify. Next thing you know,
gotcha, bitch.
And it was because of a crime scene from 1974 where they had his DNA, and at the time they didn't have the capability of testing it, but they tested it and they were able to link him.
The same thing happened with the Golden State Killer.
Yeah, the Golden State Killer also was busting nuts at crime scenes, and they went ahead and caught him. They caught him in 2018. They caught him 50 years later.
Yeah, I think it was for his daughter. I think it was.
No, it was DNA and Me.
Oh,
one of those DNA websites, yeah.
They
23andMe.
Yeah, 23andMe. Yeah, they caught up through that, bro. Yeah. I know it's the option. The chats are like, what's going on? Bro, go watch the episodes, man. It's on my Fed Reacts channel on YouTube. Good. Look up, let's pull up. Can we pull up the channel real quick? Screen share real quick? Yeah. Just because I want y'all to really watch this stuff, man.
You can see
some of y'all are some new subscribers, and all the ninjas over at Rumble, okay? Which we got about 1,000 y'all watching on YouTube, and then another 900 or so y'all watching on Rumble. Shout out to all you guys. We got over 2,000. Don't forget to like the video on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. We're going to switch over here to Rumble here probably in a little bit. But we're going to pull up the channel for y'all real fast so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Because I know some of y'all are like, what the hell are you talking about, Myron? Yes, we did full podcast covering this stuff. Where we had serial killers literally busting nuts at crime scenes and then getting caught later on, guys. It's hilarious. We did.
No. Back.
Oh, you can't? All right, well.
Yeah, he got it.
You got it? Okay.
Share it now.
The guys are trying to...
Yeah, we got guys. Sorry, guys. A lot of stuff going on. Boom. Here we go. So, hit the home real quick. So, you guys come down, right? You scroll down. We got 1K y'all watching, by the way. Thank you guys so much. Keep going. Scroll down. We got the shorts, and then we got the playlist. We got hip hop and Rico cases, and then we got infamous serial killers, right? And then you see here all the different serial killers, and then we got the Long Island Killer, Aileen Wuornos, the obviously Jack the Ripper, Son of Sam, and then hit that arrow on the right hand side, Bills.
Which one?
Right there next to
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
And then it keeps going. I got BTK, Samuel Little, Toy Box Killer, Daniel Prince, Green River Killer, Ed Gein, aka the Ghoul, the guy. That's the guy that they based the movie
Texas
Chainsaw Massacre on. So, and then if you hit the infamous serial killer playlist, click it up the top. Yeah, that one. Yep. And then y'all can see, like, scroll down. Look at all the people I covered, man. I literally covered like almost everybody. The BTK, the Zodiac. That one was crazy. That one was wild. They still haven't caught him to this day, guys. To this day, they have not caught the Zodiac killer. They think they know who it is. I think he died in 2018 or 2020, something like that. I forget his name. But they still haven't 100% identified him. And then they got the Railroad Killer, obviously the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, Ted Bundy, 30+ kills. I got John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown. Dude was wild. He buried all the bodies under his house like a dummy.
Stupid.
And then we got Jeffrey Dahmer, of course, right? If you guys haven't seen that on Netflix, we got the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, the most expensive serial killer case the FBI's ever done. So yeah, man, bro, we got so much content on this channel, man. Like, yo, this is by far the best true crime channel on YouTube. Okay. We're not out here putting makeup on and talking about Jeffrey Dahmer. We're actually investigating and going over all the cases, okay? So go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you haven't already, and show support. But anything y'all got? I saw you make a funny face when I talked about this dude getting caught on 23andMe.
Yeah,
busting nuts at crime scene.
Yeah, I was watching it too. I was like, what? Ow! Oh yeah, and by the way, just want to say to the guys on Rumble, you guys, if you are subscribed on Rumble, we have extra emotes just for this channel. Fed Reacts, and you guys can notice some of the seals and badges are a little extra
actually,
special.
let me make that announcement. Guys, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel on Rumble. We got a bunch of emotes that Mo made for you guys, and it'll help us out significantly because at the end of the day, guys, Rumble is the last frontier of free speech. You know, these other platforms, not even Kick, none of them support free speech like Rumble does, man. So if you guys want to support, please subscribe on Rumble. Just click the live. If you guys are watching the show live right now, just go ahead and click that subscribe button. And it's only $5, man. And it's lit, bro. And you get the emotes and stuff, and it'll support. It's $5, man. It's a coffee a month, right? Support the Fed Reacts channel. You know, we're making content for y'all over here. We're going hard in the paint. We're researching. We're pulling up documentaries. We're giving commentary. We're making fun of serial killers, busting nuts at crime scenes. So, yo, check it out, man. Okay? Don't forget to like the video.
And
go on, Mo.
I actually made some special ones myself from some of the badges and seals from certain countries.
Yeah. We got y'all, man.
What are emos?
Emotes? It's like the funny, like little emblems that they put next to their stuff when they're watching.
Think of emojis, but just from Rumble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Got it.
Nice. All right, let's keep going with the
documentary.
And she knows.
I don't think I slept after that. I don't think so, because when your child's missing, you're looking. I would carry a white sheet. I was gonna cover her if I found her.
Detective Commander John Milner is a certified investigative hypnotist. He often puts potential witnesses under in hope of extracting details they may have forgotten. He decides to hypnotize several people who were in the area at the time of Lori's disappearance. One recalls seeing an orange or red van at the mall parking lot.
Pause.
It was a lead, and it was...
There's not a lot of times where hypnotism, is used in, investigations, but when it is, it does help sometimes. There are some instances where it could help, and you guys can see here that one of the witnesses was able to remember a red van. All right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Keep that in mind. That's going to be very important later on.
You see the difference with this victim with the first one? The mom is putting all like post posters everywhere in the city. And the first victim just got forgotten in like this next 3 days, like the same week.
Yep.
Nobody asked for it. Nobody knew anything about the case. Like
that's the importance of having a family, man. They put pressure on the police too to keep looking. So that's how it goes. Again, that's why ladies of the night, a lot of the times their attackers aren't found. The Long Island killer, if you guys saw that we did an episode on him. Yeah. He almost exclusively killed ladies of the night, and they were of different races, mostly Caucasian actually. Yeah. But they didn't put that much pressure on it, and they were able to go ahead and he got evaded capture for like 20 years. Yeah. So they caught him recently.
Wait, he was killing ladies of the night?
Who?
Yeah, ladies of the night.
Misogyny.
Yeah.
Ladies from the street.
Yeah. So hey, man.
She belongs to the streets.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Something that we started to put out to other agencies, any potential abduction attempts with a red or orange van. We did everything we could. That didn't lead to anything at that time.
Tips come streaming in, but they go nowhere.
Elmhurst did a really wide and thorough, in-depth investigation. But finally, the case just began to dry up. The tips began to dry up. Lori simply had vanished. She was gone.
Over the next 4 months, several other women are found dead in Chicago and the surrounding suburbs. In each instance, their valuables are left behind, but their bodies are violated in cruel and ritualistic ways.
Mo, can you pause it real quick?
All right, pause. So we're going to give you guys a little bit of insight as to some of the other victims that were, because this documentary doesn't cover all of them, but we'll got like one or two that I think were interesting that we kind of want to show you that came from another documentary.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, so...
can you play the video on YouTube that I sent you guys?
Yeah.
This is
one of the victims. This is an Asian lady who was actually fell victim, and she was not a lady of the night. So it kind of goes to show that these attackers were attackers of opportunity, and not necessarily looking just for ladies of the night, but rather they were looking for ladies at night.
Yeah. I wonder if this case like hit the media back then in the 80s, because
it definitely did.
You will later on see girls not walking alone at night, or
it definitely
taking
did.
care of themselves, being alone and stuff.
But they went missing. So all right, so let's go ahead and run this clip real quick from the other documentary. Because remember, guys, so it said, many women were caught, bodies were found throughout the Chicago metropolitan area. So this is one of them that they didn't mention in the last documentary we were in. Let's go ahead and run this clip.
8-year-old Shui Mak also disappears.
She was born and raised in China. She was brought here. She lived with her parents. She worked in a company somewhere in DuPage County where they made Mars lights, for squads, electrical company. She did that 8 hours a day and then went to her family's restaurant and worked there.
On the night of her disappearance, as she is coming home from work with her brother Kent, a heated argument breaks out between them. Kent orders her out of the car at a stop sign. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Pause.
That
brother.
Stupid.
Yeah.
But I guess they must have been really pissed off, man. I wonder what they were arguing about that he felt the need to kick his sister out at 1:30 in the morning in the middle of nowhere.
You wonder what they were arguing.
No one in chopsticks! I said mental!
Misogyny.
Stupid.
Yeah, bro. What the hell, man? God damn. All right, let's keep going, rolling the clip.
Okay.
At night, Shui Mak will not get home.
She walked southbound on Barrington Road from Schaumburg Road because it was the only way she knew how to get home.
The Cook County Police Department is tasked with the investigation into the young Chinese woman's disappearance. On September 30th, Shui Mak's body is discovered on a construction site in South Barrington, an upscale Chicago suburb in Cook County.
She was as close as I am to you to an anthill, and there was nothing left.
Pause.
No body parts.
Yeah, ants literally tear through human flesh and just eat everything. So that sucks because obviously that's going to destroy the evidence.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
larves, ants, birds, anything that can be in a wood.
yeah, but the ants definitely got the most of that. So let's keep going. And then you guys are going to see the condition of her body. Pay attention here. This is pretty graphic.
This is a dramatization, you guys.
Yeah.
I don't think this is
Yeah, this isn't actual.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
But again, the clothes were on, and this beautiful necklace was on her. The back of her skull was crushed. And she had a tooth crack in front. So it would seem that somebody punched her, and her head went back and shattered.
Bits of steel wire are found next to the body.
So obviously they literally just like either punched her or hit her with some kind of object, knocked her teeth out, and the back of her head was crushed, guys. You know what I mean? So obviously these are some merciless, sick individuals, man, to do something like that. Let's keep going. And then there's wire.
Detective Troca from the Sheriff's Office of Cook County is charged with identifying the victim. This is a crime scene he will never forget.
We processed the scene, and at that moment, I was trying to identify her.
The discovery of Schwemak's body convinces the various Chicago area police departments that they're dealing with a serial killer, or worse, with a group of serial killers.
Well, as soon as we had 2 or 3 victims, we could determine that this was the work of the same person or persons.
Pause. Now, once you're able to establish that you got a pattern and you got either one or multiple serial killers, I'll tell you this. That is going to absolutely inspire all the police departments in the local area to work together and figure out who these guys are, because nothing hurts, right? A city, a mayor's campaign, the local population or Spike's fear more than saying, yo, there's a serial killer on the loose, okay? If you look at someone like the Night Stalker, you know, Richard Ramirez, and or the Golden State Killer, who actually was called the original, fun fact, he was called the original Night Stalker, by the way. He was the Night Stalker before Richard Ramirez. Gun sales went up when all of these guys were running rampant through South California or when these serial killers are around. So nothing drives public fear more than the announcement of a serial killer. So at that point, law enforcement has to do something.
Yeah.
Okay? They absolutely have to do something. So media pressure is never fun. Because the mayor's going to tell them, yo, what are you guys doing? He's going to put a bunch of pressure on the police chief or the commissioner, depending on how big the department is, and they're all going to work together and figure out who these guys are. Yeah. Especially when they're killing females in a heinous way that these guys are doing, right? We're talking about breasts being cut off, wires being found at crime scenes, yeah, and then multiple people being killed in violent, heinous manners. So, yeah, they're going to do their thing. Let's go back to the
real quick.
Oh, yeah,
real quick, guys. This body of Chu Mac, this Chinese lady, she was all decomposed because she was found 4 months later after the last victim, Lori Birowski. So that's why she was all like decomposed.
Okay, let's keep going.
It's very important to keep that in mind.
So it took them a while to find her.
Yeah.
The investigators review the various case files. One testimony stands out.
All right, pause.
In June of the...
All right, now let's go back to the other documentary. I just want to shed some light on that. So that's one of the victims that they're talking about from the main documentary they were talking about that showed the people that were dying. So actually, you know what? Let's hit some of these chats real fast because I think we're midway. All right.
We're gonna play the other documentary, the first one.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to the main one. Paul Castellano, shout out to you, bro. Myron, having built multiple channels with a huge following, do you have any advice to grow on YouTube? Yeah, dude. You just got to make sure that you're unique, interesting, have something to try to do something that's innovative, that's different from what everyone else is doing, and be a subject matter expert in what you talk about. That's really important too. You got to know what you're talking about. One thing about us guys, you guys can see here, people might say, "Oh, you guys are scammers," blah blah blah. But the reality is, we do our show live, and you guys ask questions real time, and we answer the questions. And if we don't know something, we bring on experts that are. We don't know everything, but we know quite a bit. So, you know, we have it live, and you really can't lie when you're live. So, you know, for all the people that say that we're scammers and BSers, I mean, okay, whatever. But that's what it is, man. Be unique. Be a subject matter expert in what you talk about. Have a niche, and you'll be straight. And be entertaining as well. That's very important as well. Nathan goes, Molstein, what percentage interest rate did you give the Ripper crew?
60% interest rate.
Appreciate that, bro. King Cole DTX. Can you do Chris Benoit?
Yeah,
that is on the list.
It's on the list. Yeah. You guys gotta keep asking for it.
What else do we got here? We got Vilexia VR. I saw Sounds of Freedom because of you. Thank you so much. You mean a lot to me. Pause. Angie, love your shirt and courage sticker. OG shows. Yeah, I donated. What? I don't even remember. It was a couple $100. Like
you guys noticed my
$500. Yeah, guys, go see the Sound of Freedom, guys. If you guys, I literally donated a bunch of money on there. Go watch that Sound of Freedom episode. I bought a bunch of tickets, and you guys can go ahead and redeem it and go watch it. Hopefully, there's still some money in there. I think it's an important movie. Go check it out. Random Guy 64 goes, we can actually see Fresh now. Appreciate that, bro. King Yui goes, W Frangie. Okay.
Oh.
Random Guy 64 goes, Angie's English is better than Fresh. Here's more money to get Fresh a new speech therapist. Thanks, Random Guy 64. Reckless Josh goes, hey, do you mind giving an update on your YouTube animation channel?
We will.
Animation channel?
We will. It's a future Money Monday episode.
Oh, I'm doing go ahead, Mo. What were you gonna say? Go ahead.
David Omari. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, automation. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought he meant automation. I thought he meant animation. Okay, yeah, automation. Yeah, we're gonna bring him back. Don't worry. I'm going to hell, but that first victim looked like one half of Apple and Peach. Lord, forgive me.
Oh my God,
you
that's
guys
so
are messed
mean.
up. Valexia goes, I subscribed before, but somehow it went away, but subbed again. Also, a London podcast. She's been in the front line supporting you guys, making the hater reaction YouTubers look like fools. Many love y'all. Also, a London podcast. She's been in front line.
I have no idea.
Okay. I don't know who you're talking about. And then, but yeah, guys, we'll bring David Amaro back. But like, I got that held right now because, as you guys know, we're demonetized. So like, I got that whole held thing. So I don't have we can't make other channels and stuff like that right now. So, but don't worry, we'll bring him back once we're monetized again. When we're good with YouTube, then we can definitely talk about that. Mizzle for life. You have to watch the Stephen Avery case on Netflix. Michael Blackson spoke on it. He's in jail today for a crime he did not commit. Okay. I think that's the making a murderer stuff.
Yeah.
What else do we got here? Anything else?
They're not friendly with.
Oh, the rest of the Rumble chats aren't friendly.
Yeah.
Okay, and then let's go ahead and hit the Streamlabs chats.
That's also not.
That's not friendly either.
Yeah.
Man, y'all wilding out, man. Man. Okay, and then we got the leaderboards here. Axiom, $10.
Oh, we can see who subscribes.
Othon, $10. TDAT, $5. Shareas, $1, and then Rico, $3. Thank you guys so much. Those are the top people, and then we got the little feed on the side that's showing people subscribing. So yeah, guys, subscribe to the channel.
This is awesome.
On YouTube.
I'll say a cleaner version of it. Shout out to Axiom donating $10. You know, he said, forget the other side. Riding jackals and vultures, preying on FNF downfall. And I'll explain later on.
We'll read the full thing on Rumble.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
We get to Rumble. We'll read it. We'll be unedited. So don't worry, guys. Let's finish the documentary at least on YouTube, and then we'll give our reactions and everything else like that. Here, let's keep going.
These were horrendous crime scenes. The women were hacked with axes. Several of them were beaten. Their faces were beaten desperately, terribly. But in every case, every single one of them, their breasts had been slashed. And this was no sort of surgical type procedure. And in most of the cases, it was not post-mortem. The women were still alive.
If you see a lot of brutality that's ante-mortem, they want that person to suffer. They want to humiliate that victim before they actually kill them. So that's an added component to the fantasy. They want that person to understand psychologically that they're going to get battered and bludgeoned and hurt. There's going to be a lot of pain before they're murdered. This is a person who's usually angry, probably has been humiliated somewhere along their life.
The women are found in the city's alleys.
And the other thing too, I want you guys to understand with the serial killers that that do this, a lot of them get, sexual satisfaction from especially like with the stranglers, like a Ted Bundy, the Samuel Little, John Wayne Gacy, a lot of these guys. Hey, shout out to you, Mario Cavazos, donated $10. Any advice on how I can stand out as a red pill? Oh, okay.
Creator.
Red pill creator. Be unique, my friend. A lot of people are just copying the same thing and trying to do what we do, and that's not what you want to do. You want to kind of make your own lane and be unique for something. Benny, a shout out to you though for the donation. So anyway, yeah, like I was saying with these serial killers, a lot of the times what they do is they want to be able to feel like God. Okay, they want to be able to strangle the person right before they die. They kind of stop, loosen it up a bit, and then the person comes back to life. Ted Bundy was famous for doing this with his victim. A couple of women actually survived his attacks and were able to remember this about him, is that he would strangle them, and then as they were dying, he would let them let go and then like continue that process, and like he enjoyed seeing the terror and playing God. John Wayne Gacy did this. Jeffrey Dahmer did this. A lot of Samuel Little did this. A lot of these serial killers like to strangle their victims and do it that way so that they can feel as if they're God, and they get a lot of sexual satisfaction from it. It's a very sick thing, but they enjoy it, right? And these guys in this case like cutting off the breasts. Every guy has their own thing, but yeah. Wait, you have something, Angie?
Yeah, that's got a name. I remember I studied that too. It's called La Petite Mort. So it's an expression that means the brief loss or awakening of consciousness. That what Myron is describing, that's the name of it. It's basically like getting somebody okay, sorry. It's getting somebody unconscious for like a brief period of time.
So
it's a form of torture though.
Yes. And they get a lot of satisfaction from it, the weirdos. So yeah. So that's a big thing about these serial killers, man. A lot of times they commit these crimes and they get sexual satisfaction from it. So cool. Let's we'll get back to the documentary, guys. And thank you guys so much for donating to the show. We really appreciate it. And don't worry, we're gonna read the Rumble rants and everything else like that. The crazy ones that came through.
The bridges and in the forest preserves that dot the outskirts of the city. But with robbery clearly not the goal, the motive remains a mystery.
While all these various cases were happening, there was as yet no provable, followable connection between these various suburban crimes and the actual city of Chicago.
After 5 months, Lori Borowski's disappearance is still unsolved.
It's months out, and we have this person who's gone, and we're not getting anywhere.
Her family holds on to hope.
I thought she was alive. Somewhere. I thought somebody just took her.
Close to a year and a half after Linda Sutton's mutilated body was found in a patch of weeds in Villa Park, investigators in DuPage County receive a call from Chicago PD. Could this be the break investigators have been waiting for? Or are the murders and mutilations in Chicago and its suburbs about to get even worse? It has been 16 months since Linda Sutton's body was found in Villa Park. Police have no leads until now. A Chicago prostitute is left for dead in an alley. Her vicious wounds are similar to those of Sutton's.
She was in really very serious condition, critical condition, when the police went to talk to her. She was not able to speak.
Somehow she musters the strength to communicate with police.
Pause.
Using signals and a piece of...
All right, so this is huge, right? You have an eyewitness that survived an attack, guys. You're going to do everything in your power to try to get that witness to recollect their memory so you can identify a suspect. Because at this point, keep in mind, guys, they have a string of murders, right? Remember, they said that there were 17 murders from 1981 to 1982. That means that there were, bodies racking up. Mm-hmm. And they don't necessarily have someone alive that can describe these individuals. They don't know who they are whatsoever. So this is huge. Right? You have a witness that's actually alive. Yes, they're in critical condition, but you need to go ahead and figure out who these individuals are ASAP. Yes, Sam?
Wait, yes.
Yeah.
So there is a victim that they didn't mention in this documentary, but they did. I think they did mention on the other one. After the Chinese girl got unalived, there was another girl named Angel York that they kidnapped in their van.
Oh, you know what? It's in another documentary. We could play it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could. You know what? Switch to the other doc real quick. It was literally about to play right when we stopped it.
She was also alive.
Yeah, we can run it real fast. Let's run it for you guys. So there's 2 witnesses, right? This one though is the more important one, but there was another witness as well. And I know we're ping ponging between the 2 here for y'all, but that way you guys kind of get more insight as to what's really going on here. And by the way, I noticed that there's 1,000 you guys watching us on YouTube right now. Do me a quick favor, man. Please like the video. Let's get to 1,000 likes so we can have 100% engagement on YouTube. As you guys know, we're demonetized, so we're doing this for free for y'all on YouTube pretty much at this point. So the only thing I ask is like the video, subscribe to the channel on YouTube so that the channel can grow and people can find it.
So the minute that you want to go to, it's the 14:03.
Oh, he can just play it from where it was at right before.
Oh, you want to play it from
was
there?
already it was already ready to go because I remember that this was the woman that they're referring to right here. Yep.
Preceding year, Holly Clemens, a.k.a. Angel York, a prostitute from the red light district, had told about boarding a van driven by a prospective John.
He picked her up when she was running away from the police when they were sweeping the area for prostitutes, got in his van, and then found herself in much more trouble than she was trying to escape.
He forces her aboard his van and orders her to take off her clothes.
He wound up having her cut a hole in the side of her breast, which he then enlarged with his finger and the knife because it wasn't large enough to encompass his penis. And he had sex with the breast.
Pause. Yes, you guys heard that right. This sick bastard cut the boob off and had sexual intercourse with the hole.
That's oh my God.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah. Yep.
What?
Yeah, bro. I know.
No, I can't.
Yeah, bro. The individuals like this should be like put to like literally be tortured, man. Like this is unacceptable. Like what the hell, bro? Incredible, man.
No.
But anyway, let's keep going.
It's giving me pain.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Plus, I prefer to her to have the never.
She's stupid.
After this interminable aggression, he leaves her in an alleyway near Grand Avenue.
Fortunately, he let her out. He put some duct tape over her breast, let her out of the van.
She is discovered 5 minutes later and driven to the hospital where her condition is stabilized.
All right, bam. So another survivor. Pause.
On August.
All right, let's go back to the other doc. So these dudes definitely are
stupid
and let 2 women survive.
And
2 different women survive.
So she was found alive, but she didn't. The description of their attackers didn't produce any leads. So.
Oh, hers, right?
Yeah, hers.
Yeah.
It's the other victim.
Yeah, it's the other victim that actually made a description. But okay, so we know that there's 2 victims that survived these attacks. Yeah. We got it. All right, boom.
Paper, she is able to give a detailed description of the man who attacked her. She explains that he handcuffed her and forced her to swallow some pills. And then her nightmare really began.
He took what she described as a length of piano wire and wrapped it around one of her breasts and just kept pulling it, tightening the wire until finally she passed out. And then the next thing she knew, she woke up in the hospital.
Pause. So
Forcing a victim.
Now we know how he would get the breasts off. He would use a piano wire. Obviously, for some of you guys that might not know what a piano wire is, it's a very sharp. If you know what you're doing, it's a very sharp wire, and if you make it taut and you literally go like this, it could do some damage. It could do some serious damage. So I mean, I guess the piano wire was his.
Is his modus operandi.
Weapon of choice, yeah.
But he did use an axe with another victim.
Yeah, they would use axes and stuff like that, but piano wire seemed to be his favorite thing to use for cutting off breasts. So, but that's a big tip though, that she was able to, and here's the thing, she was drugged, guys. This is another thing that these guys used to do. He used to give a bunch of pills to all these women that they would kidnap and do this to. So luckily for her, she was able to recollect all this stuff. Yeah. So shout out to her, W memory.
Piano wires are extremely sharp and extremely durable.
Yes.
So it's like even just a slight slash of a piano wire can make a giant cut, and it can cut extremely deep. So it's a very super efficient tool to use to cut anything.
Bam.
How do you know?
I'm a musician. Yeah, I play piano too.
Oh, you can play piano?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
All right. Let's keep going. Shout out to all you ninjas, man, in the chat.
Them to take drugs is one way to keep them from screaming, also to keep them pliant and easy to control, so you can keep them stationary and perform something like using a piano wire to slice off a breast. He probably tried different things and looked at different possible weapons before he settled on the wire. And the wire, of course, if you hold it taut, is going to slice through all kinds of things. And it's going to be a weapon that isn't going to be obvious. Should somebody come into his home to do a search, who's going to think a piano wire is what was used?
Pause.
She also provides detailed...
And it's easy to hide as well. Guys, do me a quick favor. We got, like I said, again, 1,000 of you guys watching on YouTube. I want to hit 1,000 likes on YouTube, if you guys don't mind, so that we can go ahead and make sure that we hit, high...
The algo.
Yeah, hit the algo, man, and hit high engagement. You guys know, man, we got demonetized on YouTube, which kind of sucks.
He must have needed gloves.
We
got 1,200 in Rumble too.
1,200 on Rumble, yeah.
He must have needed gloves if he's using piano wires, because
it would cut his hand too, right?
Yeah,
probably.
It would cut him. He could cut himself if he's not that careful. Yeah.
Okay. Probably did have gloves on. Yeah. You're gonna see. Yeah, he probably did, because the line of work that he was in, you're gonna see here in a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Shout out to all you ninjas.
Information about the vehicle he was driving.
She described it as a red van, older.
A red van was also seen at the site of Lori Borowski's disappearance.
There were several very distinguishing features.
You guys remember, they did that, forensic hypnotism, and they were able to go ahead and get a witness to say, oh, no, I saw a red van on that day. So, bam, now we got another link, okay? Let's keep running it.
Between the front driver's seats and the rear of the van was a plywood partition. She also described a roach clip hanging from the front mirror in the van that had two long feathers hanging from it. One was blue and one was white.
That's a key clue right there. That feathery thing that they have hanging where their rearview mirror will be. Because that was the tip that gave the detectives, this is the van.
All right, let's keep going. Very important detail.
Immediately, police put out an all-points bulletin on the van. Could it shed light on the whereabouts of Lori Borowski? They don't have to wait long to find out. 5 days later, her body is discovered in a suburban cemetery. It is one of the hundreds of locations her family had searched in previous months.
I was 10 feet from her body and didn't know it. I didn't know it.
When her body had been found, we learned that her breast was missing or mutilated. At that point, the connection was made that she was part of this group of victims that were being mutilated in the Chicagoland area.
Another missing breast.
With this perpetrator, there just didn't seem to be a clear type that he liked. So you could be a prostitute, a working woman, just a girl out to the movies. Day or night, in the city, in the suburbs, you were a victim of opportunity. So these girls would have had no chance with him moving in. If he spotted you, it was over.
"10 days later, a break. Back in Chicago, two detectives spot a bright red van with tinted windows driving down a city street.
Oh, here we go.
It was an older red van with a plywood partition between the front and the back, and with a roach clip with a long blue feather and a long white feather hanging from the rearview mirror. And of course, just the first thought, that never happens. This doesn't happen. It's too good. It doesn't happen, but it happened.
Officers stop the van. The driver, 21-year-old Edward Spreitzer, is visibly nervous. When he's questioned, he tells police that the van isn't his. It belongs to his boss, Robin Gecht, a local carpenter and electrician. Could Gecht be the monster they've been searching for?
When Robin came outside, they saw he was exactly the description that they had been given. The van fit the description perfectly, and Robin Gecht fit the description perfectly.
They bring him in. Under questioning, he is even tempered and calm, claiming he has no knowledge of the attack on the surviving prostitute 2 weeks prior, and that he was home that night with his wife.
Stop the cab.
Police want to put him in a lineup, but the surviving victim is still in critical condition, so they bring Gecht to her. She picks him out without hesitating.
Well, she immediately pointed to Gecht and was just collapsed. She absolutely collapsed. She was just so frightened, so terrified of him.
That's crazy.
Gecht is booked on several charges, including aggravated battery and
that strange stash. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you this though, the '80s were different. Bringing in a lineup right to the victim. God damn, bro, these guys don't care. Yo, the '80s were different, man. All right, let's keep going. Could you imagine if you tried to do that now? Your witness is recovering in a hospital. You just bring a bunch of dudes, including the person that probably did it, into the hospital room. Okay, which one was it? Oh God, like, bro, what the hell? Like, stupid. Holy. Well, they didn't give a shit. Like, hey, hooker, tell us who it was.
But he posts bond and promptly disappears. Days later, another prostitute comes forward and says Gecht attacked her too.
They don't do that these days?
Nah, bro.
Word?
Hell nah. There'd be so many issues with that.
Word.
Police procedure and just like feeling like they got put in danger. Yeah, you would never. Bro, police practices have changed a lot over the past few decades. But yeah, the '80s, they didn't care.
Okay.
They're probably punching suspects. Hey, give me what I need to know. Bang! Just hand them stuff. No cameras in the rooms. Yeah, bro. They don't give a shit. I know you're the murderer. Just hand them the shit. Yeah, man. They're probably slapping the shit out that dude. And especially them small ass PDs. They're like, bang! Just hitting them, bro. They don't care. You know what I mean? I'm trying to remember who it was. There was a big case that actually got broke because the detective beat the shit out the guy, man. I'm trying to remember which case it was. We broke it down on Fed Reacts too. Oh, it was the Night Stalker.
Night Stalker?
Yeah. So check this out, right? Because he had committed a murder in San Francisco, right? He killed this Chinese family, right? So he kills this Chinese family, and you got this detective that was super, emotionally invested in the case. He wanted to catch this guy, right? And he found out that Night Stalker's friend lived in San Fran, and he knew who the guy was. He knew his name. So he puts him in the back of the squad car, and he's talking to him like, hey, we know who it is, what's the guy's name? What's the guy's name? We know that you're friends with him, blah, 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 right? And the guy's like, fuck you, I'm not saying nothing. It's like, what'd you say? He's just like, bang, just hits him right in the nose. And the guy's like, he's like, fuck you, I'm not saying nothing. And the detective just starts wailing on him, like just beating a shot of him. And he's like, okay, I'll tell you what you need to do. Richard Ramirez, stop. And then they identified him and they got him.
What?
Yeah, bro.
But stuff like that doesn't fly today.
Yeah. Like, bro, you do that now, like you gonna have the FBI on you and shit. Like, they're gonna hit you with a civil rights violation and all that shit, bro. Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna be. Everything is recorded in squad cars now. But this was the '80s, bro.
I was about to ask if you did that in some of your cases.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Like, it was like a Mexican dude. He punched him right in the nose, man, because he was pissed. Because this dude, Night Stalker, had like all of California shook. Because he was going crazy in Southern California, and then he decided to like just randomly go up to San Francisco and commit like a terrible murder. He like had eaten all their food, and he drew like pentagrams in the house. The crime scene was crazy. Yeah. And then he like had he like ejaculated on the carpet. Oh yeah, bro. Ow. Yeah. So the detective that showed up was pissed because it was like just like a Asian family. You know what I mean? Like just got massacred, like blood everywhere, pentagrams everywhere, jizz on the floor. He's like, what the fuck is this? So when he got the lead and found out who the guy's friend was, and he was like a Mexican guy, because Rich Ramirez was Mexican too. He was like, who is it? And he was like, fuck you. He's talking shit. Bong, just hit him right in the nose, bro. And the guy was like handcuffed in the back of the car, so he just like kept hitting him. Who is it? Who is it? Tell me who is it? Bong, just kept hitting him. So, yeah. and that's how they found out who Richard Ramirez was. It was San Francisco PD that actually identified him. No lie, donated $1. Can you do a Turpin family case? It's pretty interesting, and I live 25 minutes from there. Shout out to you. Turpin family? I don't know about that one, but Angie's gonna write it for y'all.
Riverside?
Yeah. But yeah, bro, they don't. Police back then didn't care, bro.
That's very Venezuelan.
But you know what, man, I ain't even met. Dude was drawing pentagrams and devil messages, taunting the police and jizzing on the floor. I'd be pissed too, man. Maybe that guy does deserve to get punched in the face. Like, tell me who it is.
Oh, God.
Bang! You know what I mean?
That's the way they do it in Venezuela.
That's how they do it in Venezuela?
Yeah, they put you in a plastic bag and they choke you in.
Oh, goddamn. Venezuela different, too.
Yeah.
Holy.
Fatality.
Until you speak.
Oh, man.
Oh, no, we got the Venezuelan Police Department emotes.
Oh, man. Oh, shit. Can we show a little bit of that on Rumble or not? They're going too crazy?
They could just know we got
It's not safe? All right, let's finish this documentary and switch it over to Rumble. All right.
As Chicago PD issues a warrant for his arrest, they consider the idea he may have had an accomplice. They decide to have another look at his employee, Edward Spreitzer.
They were pretty sure that whatever Robin was involved in, somehow Eddie was involved in it too. He was just too frightened, almost beyond fear, jumpy, nervous as a rabbit. There was something wrong. He was, in police parlance, he was dirty and they knew it.
Law enforcement conduct a series of intense interviews with Spreitzer. Gradually, they break him down. What he reveals is darker and more sinister than anyone could have imagined.
All right, shit's about to get real here. They break him down. They probably slapped him around too.
I kind of want to mention something that they don't mention in either of the documentaries in here. Wikipedia, it's there was a male victim that this crew had on October 6th, right after the lady that was found at the bank. There was a lady found at a river bank. On October 6, 1982, the gang shot 28-year-old Rafael Tirado, a local drug dealer, and his friend, 18 years old Alberto Rosario, at a phone booth in a random drive-by shooting. So according to Spreitzer, which is the youngest guy, I think it is.
The guy that was actually driving the vehicle.
Yeah, he was driving the vehicle. He was driving with Get, which is the leader of the band, and the older man told him to slow down. So Getz told him to slow down, and then he took two guns from the back of the car, and he told Spreitzer to stop the car and then open fire to the two guys that were standing at the open booth, and they hit both of them. But Rosario, the youngest guy, he survived the injuries. The other guy died. So he was the only male victim of the gun.
Bam. Oh yeah, that was the drive-by shooting one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. All right, we're about to get into some demon time here in a little bit, guys.
5 women across Chicago and the surrounding suburbs have turned up dead and mutilated. Police finally have a suspect, Robin Gecht, a 28-year-old married father. They believe Gecht had an accomplice, so they pick up his employee, Eddie Spreitzer, for questioning.
When they started questioning Eddie Spreitzer, he immediately opened.
And just so you guys know, Eddie Gecht, the main guy, he's married with kids, but he would abuse his wife sexually. Like, he'd put pins in her breasts and stuff like that. So this dude had an infatuation with boobs.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, what was that, Mo?
Pins on her breasts, like nipple piercings or something?
Yeah, no, like he would put pins in her boobs, like needles.
He will,
when they would bang.
Needles. And he will ask her to cut her nipples and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, a weirdo, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I like breasts
crazy
too, but
pedophilia.
Yeah.
Those are crazy.
He's into some. Hey, bro, I told y'all. I don't know what else to say. I just gotta hit the laugh, you know. This dude is on some Shao Kahn type stuff. Could you imagine He in the bedroom with his wife. Hey, get over here! You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, you can't. There's not really much to say. Like, what the fuck is going?
He got his hands light.
You know, he put on some crazy ass rock music. Like, he's just like, you know what I'm saying? Come here, girl. You know what time it is. Get over here,
baby. Come here and let me get the pins real quick.
Yeah, you know
that was easy.
Yeah, so. It's like, no, please stop. And he's just like, it doesn't matter what you think. You know?
What's going on?
Don't worry what's going on. All right, let's keep going.
And the floodgates opened. He began talking about cases. So
he starts snitching.
Giving details.
Spreitzer makes a shocking revelation to police.
Pause.
As part of a bizarre ritual,
And remember, guys, Spreitzer is the one that they originally found in the car. Okay, he's snitching on his boss, Eddie Gank, who owns the business and owns the vehicle. Let's keep going. Who likes to put needles in his wife's boobs.
and Gecht picked up the women, stabbed them, and then Gecht removed their breasts.
As Eddie described it, Robin ripped that wound open himself. Robin then had sex with the wound on the woman's chest.
I mean, how do you even process that?
So the idea of removing the breast or wounding the breast or cutting an opening where the breast was so that he can have sexual contact, that's the paraphilia for Robin Gecht, because he has said in letters to people that he comes from a long line of males who all had breast fetishes. He's developed through what we call orgasmic conditioning, that is, an eroticizing an object or an activity to the point where that's where he gets most of his sexual satisfaction.
The breasts are used in special ceremonies.
They would go up
right,
into
pause.
Robin Gecht's little attic.
So this is Robin Gecht's attic. Attic. Viewer discretion is advised, what you guys are about to hear here. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, because you guys are some sick bastards for requesting this video. For requesting this case, god damn it. I was watching a documentary earlier, like, what the hell is wrong with y'all, man?
Yeah.
Like, bro, it was them that asked for this.
Yeah.
You guys asked for it, and you guys are receiving, okay? You asked for it, you sick bastards, okay? I was watching this documentary, like, what the hell is wrong with y'all, man? Like, that's what I was thinking the whole time watching this. I was like, what the hell?
And he was watching the SPM too. Like, why are people asking for this?
Yo, y'all be asking some weird stuff, man. Bro, like, I be thinking some y'all be out here cum boobs.
Oh my God.
With piano strings.
Yeah, with piano strings. Seriously, bro. God damn, man.
It's over 9,000!
I'm watching this documentary earlier today, like, Mamma Mia! Like, what the hell? Trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'm like, yo.
Forget about it!
But I can't forget about it. All right, let's keep going.
Man, Myron covered the Chicago Ripper.
Yeah, seriously, bro. This is some wild shit, man. Look, they had to clean it up. They probably had all the crazy stuff in it, you know what I mean? Like the house.
Oh my God.
All right.
And they would kneel around the table, and Robin would chant whatever chant he wanted to sort of ritualize the scene, to give it a semi-religious significance. They would then masturbate into this breast and then cut it into pieces and eat it.
What the fuck? What?
What? Oh my God.
Pause.
What?
What's up with these dudes busting nuts all over the place on boobs they cut off and then eat it? Like,
that don't even make sense,
bro.
I mean, at least he likes white meat. Still, you know,
I ain't gonna lie. This is one that the Fed does not want to react. This is crazy. Y'all are some fucking assholes for picking this case, bro.
Yeah.
Real talk, man. Y'all are some assholes. I was watching this earlier, like, what the hell is going on with you sick bastards? Because you guys asked for this. All right?
It's very sick.
Yeah. They cut the boobs off, right? Bring it back to their place. Do some satanic ritual, like on some Mortal Kombat shit. Grab the boob. Get over here! Bust a nut on it. All of them would do it. And then they eat it after.
Oh.
I mean, the breast is the best part of the chicken.
No, they will cut into pieces.
Really, nigga?
Hey, man. Please, FBI about busting this shit right now. They gonna need 7 pairs of handcuffs for Mo.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, Mo, get some help.
Marvin's reaction.
Yo, what the hell, man?
Get some help. Jeez. Okay, so these guys will come.
Oh, hell no!
Oh my God. Okay.
Welcome to this episode of Fed Reacts.
Yeah.
One of the most disturbing episodes.
Unprofessional.
Yeah, it's all good, man. This dude Mo in the back, like.
I mean, because I'm a breast guy, too.
Yo.
Comfortable.
Holy.
This is very comfortable.
Mo just like. All right. Okay. Let's
Okay.
Are the lights still on?
I think so.
All right, we didn't get canceled yet. I thought it would have been surely a wrap for us at that point. We're already on YouTube death row. That might have set us over the edge.
So these guys will cut the breast, cut it into pieces, and eat it as a satanic ritual.
Yes, after rubbing one out.
That's why the detective was saying, like, these guys will make Charles Manson look like a baby.
Yeah, facts.
Insane.
Facts. All right, let's keep going. You guys requested this case, you sick bastards.
Spreitzer confesses to the murder of 7 women, including Lori Borowski. He also adds another player to the mix, a man called Andy.
Basically, we were looking for a guy, some nutcase evil guy that was doing this, and it turned out it wasn't 1, maybe it was 2, and then it was 2, and then it was 3.
Officers pick up 19-year-old Andy Kokorales, who implicates himself in 18...
All right, Ninjas, let's throw this address in. 2163 North McVicker Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. That was the address where they used to do these rituals. That was Robin Geck's address. 2163 North McVicker, McVicker Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. 2163 North McVicker Avenue. And that's in Chicago, Illinois. But let's keep running with the documentary, and when you're ready to pull it up on Google Maps, let me know, Bills. I know you got a million things going on back there.
18 murders, including those of Linda Sutton and Lori Borowski. He too tells detectives that he, Spreitzer, and Gecht had intercourse with their stab wounds.
It's a paraphilia for him, has nothing to do with anything satanic or empowering, and he would make the others do it because for him, the act is one thing, but watching others do it is even greater because not only does he get to watch that, which is part of his fantasy life, but he gets to feel powerful over the other guy.
Yeah, so he was able to, get these guys under his wing to do, participate in his sick bidding. Let's go ahead and pull up this guy's address. This right here is where the dude lived. We're going to screen share with y'all here in a second. Here it is, 2163 McVicker Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Can we hit a street view on this bad boy? Scroll down. To the left. To the left right scroll here? Down. Yep, scroll down a bit. And then, just click that right there. Click that.
Right there.
There we go. Bam. Okay, I think that is it to the left, if I'm not mistaken. Is that it right there?
This right here?
Yeah, hit the mouse and hit the mouse roll and scroll towards it.
Scroll towards it?
Yeah, there we go. Oh, no, back to the other way. Yeah, there we go. Now just zoom in. Zoom in more. 2162? Okay.
No, that's 67, I think.
That's 67?
We're 63.
Okay, so it's got to be maybe that one to the right. Is this one it? Zoom in on that one.
I can see.
21 what?
57. What's this one?
Maybe turn around.
Oh, hold on. What the heck? Go left. I'm not going left.
Here, you got to hold it and then zoom it the other way. Yep.
Hold on. Let me see. It's not going left. What the heck?
No, you gotta like hold it and then there you go. And then rotate. There you go.
There, yeah.
There you go. Bam. All right. Maybe it's all right. So that one's 21. Did it get knocked down?
It probably got knocked down.
Yeah,
that was probably
one.
it right there. That lot.
Mm-hmm.
That probably was it. And then they knocked that shit down because it was on some demon time. And they're like, bro, like, no, we good, man. Yeah, because that's 2157, and then click, and then go to the next one.
No,
that's gonna go down.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
gonna go down.
To the left.
To the left,
That one right there, and it goes right. This one is 2160. What? No, the
This one right here.
yeah, that one right there. Yep, that one right there is what? Oh,
my God.
That tree. Move it to the right a little bit.
Mm.
There you go. Zoom in.
There you go.
One more time.
Second,
Zoom in.
Zooming into that one, yeah.
Yep.
2167.
Yeah, so they knocked it down. It was right there where those trees are. Probably is where it used to be. Okay. Well, yeah, they probably knocked it down. That's actually pretty common. I've noticed with like serial killer houses. They knocked down BTK's house too. They knocked down where Jeffrey Dahmer lived. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But okay, let's keep going.
Do they think that area is cursed or something?
Probably, and they were doing rituals and stuff. So they said, you know what, man, because it's gonna be hard to sell and
It
stuff.
must be held for the real estate, right?
Yeah.
Hard to sell.
Jeffrey Dahmer's childhood home though sold for a good amount of money. I think it's Airbnb'd out right now. And I think his childhood home. But let's keep going with the doc.
Police discover that Gecht had a strong interest in Satanism and secret rituals. A former neighbor tells police that Gecht enjoyed reading books on torture practices of ancient cultures, and that he was fascinated by how some ancients cut off the breasts of women and saved them for tobacco pouches. A girlfriend of Gecht's comes forward and states that he was always demanding that she cut off her own nipple, and if she didn't do it,
you can see the house in the minute 34:14 in the YouTube video on the other documentary. That shows the house pretty well.
In a minute and 4.
The minute 34.
34.
34:14.
I'll
Yeah.
load that up.
You mean a minute or an hour? 34:14.
Minute 34:14 seconds.
Okay.
Not a minute. Minute 34.
Yeah, minute 34.
Oh, minute 30. Okay, 30. Okay, cool. Because I was gonna say
Yeah.
that's
You
early
guys want
on.
me
I
to
don't
put it
think
up
they
now?
show the house that early. Yeah, we can put it up right now so you can see what the house used to look like before they knocked that shit down
Yeah.
because it was on some evil time.
So it's Grand Avenue, McVicker.
Yeah, McVicker. Yep.
McVicker.
34 in what seconds?
14 seconds.
14.
All right, we'll show y'all the house, man. Even though they knocked it down today, but we'll show you what it was like back in.
Gecht's home at 21.
You might what?
There it is.
63
Yeah,
North
they definitely knocked
McVicker.
that bad boy down. They were like, yo, we get rid of this nigga,
Yeah.
man.
Show it from there. Show it from there.
Eye, because he'll make you do things. He has magical powers, so just never look him in the eye.
When
There it
police
is.
get to
There you
Robin
can see
Gecht's
it.
home at 2163 North
Them guns, shout
McVicker
out to you.
Avenue to confirm Thomas Corcoralis' story, they find this infamous secret room set up in the attic.
Oh, you can
Dans
see
sa
the room.
maison, la police trouve. In the attic of his house, the police find a temple that is adorned with decorations and symbols that qualify as satanic. Très satanique.
Investigators also find a number of books on Satanism, empty trophy boxes, as well as a shotgun. Ballistic experts confirm it's been shot recently. The Chicago Rippers case occurred at the very start of what sociologists will later call the Satanic Panic.
All right, pause.
People were over.
So y'all could see, obviously, that these guys were on some real demon time here. The attic was all messed up. So that might have been a reason why they said, you know what, we're going to knock this down because we can't even sell this.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the original doc and finish it up.
I also saw another symbols.
All right, fair enough.
someone else would.
What's your relationship?
It's not just a breast fetish, it's a criminal, violent breast fetish where he wants that person to feel pain.
To find out more about Andy Cocoralis, investigators from DuPage decide to interview his brother Thomas. He quickly implicates himself, describing how he, his brother, and Eddie Spreitzer raped, tortured, and murdered Lori Borowski.
You stupid. They dragged her into the hotel room, and at that point, they threw her on the bed, they gagged her, they tied her down, and then the two of the guys started beating her.
People in the chat are saying that the house is still there. It's behind the trees. They haven't knocked it down.
Oh, it's behind the trees?
Yeah, that's what people are saying in the
Oh, wow.
chat.
So why does Google Chat not show it then? Or Google
Maps.
Google Maps doesn't show it.
It says you can see it there on Google Maps. It's behind the trees.
Oh. Are we just blind? We'll pull it back up. I want to look at it.
That's what the guys are saying.
Let's pull it
here.
back up if we can, Bills, when you get a chance.
Yeah.
Maybe we missed it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it either.
Yeah, I didn't, maybe. Okay. Chat might be right about this, man. Hey, it's an interactive show, Ninja, so, you know what I'm saying? That's the greatness of having y'all on here, right?
Yeah, be
Learning
live.
it together. Let's see here. We're doing it live. So, you got it, Bills?
Hold on one second. Yep, coming up right
Okay. All right, let's see what y'all talking about here.
One second.
It's kind of weird that the trees will cover them all.
Okay, so let's move it, I guess, to the right is probably the best way.
Yeah.
So we can see around them trees.
Oh, it might be in the back.
we're blind.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, yeah. Okay. You know what? We'll give ourselves a stupid button.
Stupid.
That's all. We didn't even see that, bro. Yo, what the hell? Bro, okay. Damn. Like, you can't even, bruh. Yeah, that's it right there. Bro, that looks like, that house looks like shit, though. God damn. They got a dish in the back and stuff. No, go back to that joint, man. God damn. What is that? Yo, what the hell? You know what? Let's have fun with this. Yo, go redfin.com. Let's see what this house is worth, man.
Is that Redfin?
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, redfin.com. Type in that address. Yeah, like put in that address real quick. Right there on the, like, let's see what this piece of crap is worth, man.
And Lakers for life, I got your case and I read it down, okay?
All right, it's off market, duh. Okay, so it's worth about $277,000. That POS is worth almost $300K? Bruh.
Okay. 3 bed, 1 bath.
3 bedroom, 1 bath. Well, we know it got an attic. We know that for a fact. It last sold, it last sold November 15, 2000 for $158K.
I was 10 years old.
Oh, wow. It was built in 1914. It's worth $277K. And so someone bought that joint after, what's his name, went to prison.
Gek.
Yeah, Gek. Wow.
Gecko.
Bro, and it's all the way tucked in the back. You can't even see, man.
Yeah, it's all covered.
Look, you look. Even on the listing, you don't even see the house, bro.
That's insane.
What the hell? Okay. All right, fair enough, man. So now we know what that piece of crap is worth, and someone lives in it. It's been bought since 2000 for $158,000. Well, actually, you know what? Scroll down a bit. Scroll down. Maybe we can have some fun with this. Scroll down some more. More. Does it go any further? Keep going. Let's keep going. Okay, property. Okay, bam. Okay, let's see here.
Can you zoom in a little bit?
Yeah, can you hit Control Plus a few times, Bills? All right, cool. Now scroll down a bit. Keep going. Okay, so, January 17th, 1995, it was sold for $15,000.
Wow.
That was probably right after.
Wait. I want to know how much this is now.
Yeah, so it was sold in January 1995 for $15,000, and then it was purchased 5 years later for $158K. So whoever bought, you know what probably happened? It probably went for sale right after what's his name got arrested. And then it got sold right after.
So now, $50,000 from 1995. Right now, it's about $30,000. So
okay,
double.
So about double. That makes sense. So $15K in today's dollars is about $30,000 today. Damn, bro, that's crazy though. So he bought it in 1995. This is probably right after this dude got sentenced and everything else. They probably got foreclosed by the bank. Got sold, $15K. And then someone bought it 5 years later for $158,000. And then that person has been at that house since the year 2000 for 23 years.
Oh, well, the only one that's dead right now is the Andrew Cocorellis. Because remember, the main guy, the leader, he wasn't the killer. He was just...
yeah, he didn't admit to any deaths. I don't think he confessed to anything.
Yeah.
So, okay, interesting. All right, let's keep going. Let's go back to the documentary. Man, that piece of crap house. Well, whoever sold it made a killing on a demon time, I guess.
Yep. I'm not gonna
hey, this house is haunted. It's okay. I'll sell it to you for $158K. Okay, I'll buy it.
Insane.
There definitely was a lot of killings that was made.
Yeah, bro. That dude's out here eating breasts in that attic.
18 victims since I was in here.
Yeah.
Damn.
Let's keep going.
And then they started to have sex with her. At that point, they took out a 3 to 4 foot wire and they placed it around her left breast. He was very specific to say left breast. And they began to pull and squeeze the wire, and they kept it in place until the breast was removed. And at that point, they then had sex with the location on her body where the breast was. They took an axe to that area after they had sex with it and started chopping it.
Sick bastards.
Then dumped her body in the cemetery. Tommy corroborates previous statements about the ceremonies. He explains that removing the breasts was Robin's idea and that Gecht has special powers.
Really?
He had the charisma and the power to take these young men where he wanted them to go. They were absolutely terrified of Robin Gecht.
Zalos, Solas, Egos, Marbos, Salos, Solas.
The satanic stuff didn't register with me. It's just like, what? I mean, tell me about this. Explain this to me. How did this happen?
I think the satanic element is just plain bizarre. When you find out how they were actually killed, it would take pretty much any normal human being and just stun them almost beyond belief.
The group is dubbed the Chicago Ripper Crew by the media. Tommy Kokorales pled guilty to Lorraine Borowski's murder. He will be eligible for parole in 2017. Andy Kokorales was charged with multiple murders, including Lori Borowski. He was executed in 1999.
Good riddance, motherfucker.
Eddie Spreitzer pled guilty to 4 murders and 1 attempted murder. He was sentenced to death for killing Linda Sutton. Robin Gecht was never charged with murder, only attempted murder. He is eligible for parole in 2042 at the age of 89. He maintains his innocence to this day.
You know, I and my entire police career have never heard of such a crime and cruelty to a human being that anyone could inflict. It was just, I can't describe it to you. It was.
No one really knows how many women the Chicago Ripper Crew killed for their special ceremonies.
There could be fields out there somewhere with some woman's body in it that we will never know about. There simply was no way to, there was not even any way for them to remember all of the women that they had killed. So it absolutely is my belief that there are more victims out there.
Fatality.
Insane.
All right. Crazy stuff.
In late November.
So,
you can play the interview.
Yeah, so we could play a little bit of the interview. So, guys, we're going to do a quick little transition over now. So, guys, do me a favor. We're going to end the YouTube stream there. We're going to read some chats that aren't safe for YouTube, and we're going to give some commentary and everything else like that and close out over on Rumble. So, guys, do me a quick favor. Come on over to Rumble right now. But before you do, please like the video on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Like I said before, I wanted to keep as much of it on YouTube as possible, but obviously we're going to have some crazy stuff that people have and want to say that we can't necessarily put on YouTube. So we're going to end the YouTube stream here. Come on over to Rumble, rumble.com/freshfit, guys, because we're going to end the YouTube stream here. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Bills, let me know when we're Rumble only.
Got you. 1 second.
Come on over, guys. Like the video on YouTube. And then come on over to Rumble. Rumble.com/freshfit. Drop the link in the chat for the people, by the way, Mo. We're going to drop the link in the chat for y'all right now. It's time to Rumble, guys. You know what time it is. AKA...